Good day, everyone. My name is Biboy Bibuhisan, and our, ta- our subject is for Layer 4, the law enforcement operation and planning with crime mapping. So, we are the BS Criminology 3D, and the leader of the group is Dugho Angelica May, assistant leader, Buhisan Biboy, members of the group, Batutoy Giovanni, Acto John Paul Kale, Genovia Andam J, Ukaw Earl Vincent, Castellon Elmar, Buncales Hixeljan, Tangkay Elton M, Iroleg John Ray Michael. Michael. Introduction. This topic present or composed of the PNP the Philippine National Police or the PNP standard operating procedure and the rules of the police operation. It provides guidelines for the previous police activities ranging from the routine patrols to specialized operations emphasizing legal compliance, inter-unit coordination, and respect for human rights. By standardizing procedures, the PNP aims to enhance efficiency, maintaining public safety, and ensure the adherence to Philippine laws. Objectives Our objectives is to ensure that we, as students and future law enforcers, understand how to establish standard operating procedures and the rules of the police operation, key to maintain public safety, enforcing the law, and protecting the human rights with focus on enhancing operational efficiency, ensuring legal compliance, promoting inter-unit coordination, maintaining the public safety and order, upholding the human rights, providing the police visibility and responsiveness, and standardizing the planning and execution. So, here's the standard operating procedures or the SOP of the PNP. SOP number 1, Police Beat Patrol Procedures. Under the PNP Operational Manual, this SOP prescribe the basic procedures to be observed by all PNP units and mobile patrol elements in conducting the visibility patrols. And the next is SOP number 2, the Bantay Kalye. Bantay Kalye, under the PNP Operational Manual, this SOP prescribed that deployment of 80% of the PNP in the fields to increase the police visibility and intensify the anti-crime campaign nationwide. SOP number 3, Siyasat. Siyasat under the PNP Operational Manual, this SOP prescribed the guidelines in conducting inspections to ensure police visibility. SOP number 4, React 166 of 1992. Under the PNP Operational Manual, it refers to the police direct link to the police to receive public calls for assistance and complaints about the prompt action by police authorities. SOP number 5, Ligtas or the anti-kidnapping. With the creation of the Presidential League Anti-Organized Crime Group, a crime task force, the PNP is now a support role in campaign against kidnapping in terms of personal requirements. SOP number 6, the anti-carnapping group. The anti-carnapping group is under the PNP operational manual. This SOP prescribe the conduct of all-out sustained anti-carnapping campaign to stop or minimizing the carnapping activities, neutralizing the syndicate carnapping groups, identifying or prosecute government personnel involving carnapping activities, and effectively address other criminal activities related to the carnapping. SOP number 7, the anti-terrorism. This SOP prescribe the the operational guidelines is in the conduct of operations against terrorism and other lawless elements involving the terroristic activities. SOP number 8, the Joint Anti-Bank Robbery Action Committee. The anti-bank robbery under the PNP PNP operational manual, this SOP provides overall planning, integration, orchestration, coordination, and monitoring of all efforts ensuring the successful implementation. Now, the SOP number 9, the anti-hijacking highway robbery under the PNP operational manual. This SOP sets forth the guidelines and concept of operation to be observed in the conduct of anti-highway robbery, uphold hijacking operations. SOP number 10, paglalansag, pag-gaayos, or hope. Under the PNP operational manual, this SOP sets for the concept of operations and tasks of all concerned units in the campaign against partisan armed groups and lost fire. SOP number 11, the Manhunt Bravo. Neutralization of wanted personnel. This SOP under the PNP operational manual, this SOP sets the objectives and concepts of operation tasks of all concerned units in neutralizing the wanted person. SOP number 12, the anti-illegal gambling. Under the PNP operational manual, this SOP sets forth the operational trust to be undertaken by the PNP that will spread the fight against all forms of illegal gambling nationwide. The SOP number 13, the anti-quieting. Under the PNP operational manual, this SOP sets forth the concept of operation in the campaign against professionals, squatters, and quieting syndicates. SOP number 14, the Jericho. This SOP under the PNP National Manual. This SOP prescribe the operational guidelines to be undertaken by the NHQ. PNP in the establishment of a quick reaction group that can be detailed with the office of the SILG with the personnel and equipment requirement of trade reaction group supporting the about the PNP. SOP number 15, the NANI, Nina di ay, the NINA, anti prostitution prostitution ver vagrancy. This SOP sets forth the in operational trust to be undertaken by the PNP that will spread the fight against prostitution and vagrancy. SOP number 16, the anti-pornography. This prescribes the guidelines to be followed by the task PNP unit officer enforcing the ban of pornographic pictures, videos, and magazine. SOP number 17, the guidelines in the conduct of arrest, search, and seize. This SOP under the PNP operational manual. This SOP prescribes that procedures and manner of conduct of an arrest, raid, search, and or of the person and search of any premises and the seize of the properties pursuant to the 1987 Constitution rule of court as a mandate and the update for decision for of the Supreme Court. So next. That's all for the SOPs. Those are SOPs. When are the standard operating procedures? Then if we become a law enforcement officer, those are the guidelines or the standard operating procedures of the PNP. Now let's move on. Steps in police operational planning. A firm of reference, careful selection of the matter of relating to the situation for which plans are being developed and of opinions of details of person who may speak with authority on the subject concerned. Clarifying the problems, identification of the problems, understanding both records and its possible solution. Conduct in the collection of all permanent facts of both attempts shall be made to develop and planned until the fact related to have been granted. Analyzing the facts, a careful analysis and develop shall be made. Developing alternative plans. In the initial halves of plan development. Several alternatives measures, when appropriate, to be logically comparable to the needs of the solution. Selecting the most appropriate alternatives, a careful consideration of all facts usually leads to selection of the best alternative proposal. Sealing the plan. Sealing the plan. A plan must be effectively carried out, must be accepted by persons concerned at the appropriate level of development of the plan. Arrangement for execution of the plan. The execution of the plan requires the associate institutions of others and directive to unit personnel concerning with the establishment of the schedule and purposive of manpower and equipment for carry out the plans. So that's all to my report, and see you.
Um, Good afternoon, everyone. So this is the continuation report of Batutay. This report discusses the proper procedures and guidelines that police officer must observe during armed confrontations and patrol operations. So these rules aim to ensure lawful performance of duty, protect human life, and maintain peace and order while preventing abuse of authority and use the excessive force. So use of force and firearms. So a use of excessive force is the excessive use of force by police officers during operation is strictly prohibited. However, officers are allowed to use necessary reasonable force when performing their lawful duties such as enforcing the law and maintaining public order. So, issuance of verbal warning. So, before using firearms, police officers must, if possible, issue a verbal warning to the offender. In cases where the firearm is discharged during a confrontation, the officer must submit an incident report detailing the circumstances that justify the use of weapon. So, procedures after an armed confrontations. Immediately following an armed confrontation, the officers in charge must A. Secure the site of the confrontations. B. Take photographs for documentations. So muna siya mga pambuhaton no pagkahuman og anong like pinusilay bitaw. So muna siya pambuhaton. So since basabot raman, so ako nang basahon. Secure the site and confrontations. A. B. Photographs for documentations. C. Ensure the area no longer poses imminent danger. D. Evacuate the wounded to the nearest hospital. Ensure that the deceased person remain unmoved from their original positions. F. Isolate arrested suspect. G. Conduct debriefing of an involved PNP operative. H. Submit an after operations report. I. Is ensure that all involved operatives receive a psychological stress counseling. So, Rule 8. Use of firearm during operations. When the use of firearms is justified, the use of firearms is justified only if an offender poses an imminent danger of causing death or injury to the officers or another person. 8. It may be also be justified under self-defense, defense of a relative, or defense of strangers. So, firing at moving vehicle. Police officers are prohibited from firing moving vehicles except when the occupants present an imminent danger that cause death or injury to others, and the only if firing will not endanger the public. So parameters in firing of moving vehicles is when considering firing of moving vehicles, the following must be assessed. So there are three: the intent of the suspect to cause harm. Pangkadua is the suspect capability to inflict harm. Katulo is the suspect proximity to the officers or other persons. So filing an incident report. Any officers uses of firearm during operation must submit an incident report outlining the reasons and conditions that lead to the use of weapon. So Rule 9, Patrol Procedures, Patrol Guidelines. During patrols, officer must observe a personal safety and precautionary measures, follow traffic rules and defensive driving techniques, choose patrol routes that provide clear visibility, prepare a patrol plan that includes 1. Area coverage including crime-prone and ambush areas, 2. Personal organizations, 3. Durations of patrol, 4. Standby points, 5. Route plan. So before dispatch, patrol teams must be briefed about orders, safety measures, and new policies. So patrol members must maintain body system. So kinahanglan yun nga nakay kauban, and report their status hourly through communication channels after the patrol report debriefing are conducted. Responsibility of the officers in charge. The officers in charge of a person is responsible for controlling all police personnel within the area of an operation. So the officer must ensure that the necessarily reasonable force is applied to protect their lives and property during any confrontation. So the rules and procedures discuss emphasize discipline, accountability, and professionalism among police officers. So by following this operational guidelines, officers uphold the law while safeguarding the rights, safety, and well-being of all individuals involved. So that's all my report.
So, good day, sir. I am Giovanni Batutay, and this is my report. The police officer must first issue a verbal warning before he could use force against an offender. As far as practicable, the verbal warning shall be in the dialect that is known to the offender, or in the national language. The verbal warning shall consist of the following: the police officer identify himself, his intention, and what he wants the offender to do. So, if you are the police officer, sir, you must issue a verbal warning first. Imo sang istoryahan usa nimo gamitan og first against the offender, imong gamitan kusog. As far as practicable, yung verbal warning shall be in dialect that is known to the offender or in the national language. So ang verbal warning nimo, example for Bisaya ta, pwede na to Bisayaon. Pag istorya atong verbal warning, pwede usab nato gamitan og national language, which is ang Tagalog. So the verbal warning shall consist of following. So this is the types of verbal warning. So non-issuance of verbal warning when excusable. The failure to use a verbal warning is exhausable in the case where a threat to life or property is already imminent, and there is no other option but to use force to subdue the offender. So ug dili nimo ma-issuance o verbal warning, possible siya nga naa siya'y threat sa imua. Then use of non-lethal weapon. Use of non-lethal weapon when the suspect is violent or threatening and that less physical measures have been tried and deemed inappropriate. A more extreme but non-deadly measure can be used, such as baton, truncheon, pepper spray, stun gun, and other non-lethal weapon to bring the suspect under control or effect an arrest. So, naa siya non-lethal weapon nga pwede na to gamiton sa pag-arrest sa atoang suspect. So, physical been tried to deem inappropriate, extreme but non-deadly mo na siya gitawag og non-lethal kay di man siya makamatay, like baton o truncheon or pepper spray katong i-spray sa iyang mata aron mahalangan iyang mata, so dili na siya kasukol nimo. Ang stun gun katong nay murag mukurog ra siya pang kurente, mo na siya mga examples of non-lethal nga ato ang magamit. Then application of necessary and reasonable force during a confrontation with an armed offender. Only such necessary and reasonable force should be applied as would be sufficient to overcome the resistance put up by the offender, subdue the clear and imminent danger posed by him, or to justify the force or act under the principles of self-defense, defense of relative, and defense of stranger. Moto siya atong 1E. Dayon 1F. Factors to consider in reasonables of the force employed. A police officer, however, is not required to afford offenders attacking him the opportunity for a fair or equal struggle. The reasonableness of the force employed will depend upon the number of aggressors, nature and characteristics of the weapon used, physical condition, size, and other circumstances, to include the place and occasion of the assault. No, ang atong reasonableness nga force is nagadepende ra pod sa atuang sa atuang suspect nga gi-arrest. Like ug babae siya, di po nato applyan og kusog kayo nga force or sumbagon or unsaon ba nato siya pag arrest kay kuan man na ma-question man punta ana kay ngano siyang ginana pag aresto, murag dili makatao siya pag aresto. And sunod, use of megaphones and similar instruments during actual police intervention operations. The team leader shall use peaceful means, including the use of megaphones or any other similar instruments, to warn or influence the offender or suspects to stop and peacefully give up. So makita na to ni kasagaran sa mga salida ni siya nga use of megaphones or similar instruments, like mga ingon ana nga parehas anang naimang hold up, manulis, diha nato makita na siya nga atong i-verbal warning ato sang megaphonean sila usa aron tagaan sila warning to peacefully give up. Dayon sa 6.3, warning shots prohibited. The police shall not use warning shots during police intervention or operations. Dili gid siya pwede nga gamiton as kuan sa police operations nga gaman siya pabutan nato or warning shots like pabuto nato sa kuan sa taas. Di gid siya pwede. Then general rules and principles of police operations. Rule 7, use of force during police operations. A use of excessive force prohibited. The excessive use of force during police operations is prohibited, however, in the lawful performance of duty. A police officer may use necessary force to accomplish his mandate, task, and of enforcing the law and maintaining peace and order. So, prohibited jud ang excessive nga force nga atong magamit, no? Like excessive nga force mo ni siya nga force magamit og force nga dili na makatao nga force ba mura na tao ga bunal og unsa or ga dakop og unsa diha nga grabe na atong pag force sa iyang ato ang pagdakop. So 1B, issuance of verbal warning. A police officer who fires his service firearm or weapon during a confrontation with an offender or offenders must submit an incident report outlining the circumstances necessitating the use of his firearms. So, ang police officer kuan siya during confrontation offender mag-submit siya incident report outlining kung ngano siyang ginagamit niya tong warning kuan sa iyang service necessitating use to of service his firearms. So 8.5 procedures after the armed confrontation shall immediately after an armed confrontation, the officer who is in charge of the operation. And that's all, sir. That's my report. And thank you so much, sir. God bless.
Duties of patrol supervisors. In any operation, careful planning is a must to avoid waste of time, effort, and resources. Make a patrol plan with the following details. 1. Area coverage, haven, ambush areas, and crime-prone areas. 2. Organization details and personnel. 3. Duration. 4. Standby points. And 5. Route plan. Design and select the member of the patrol teams. Inspect the member of the patrol for completeness of uniforms, operations, personal readiness, and all government-issued equipment, firearms, mobile car, or radio, etc. to ensure that these are well maintained and properly used by the patrol officer. Conduct briefing before dispatch by disseminating any order, directives, or instruction from the Chief of Police or higher authorities and new police guidelines being implemented by the PNP organization. Remind the patrol team about the strict observance of the PNP operation procedures. Strictly observe body system during the patrol operation. Render early report and locate a situation through radio, telephone, so number of police community present PCP station headquarters and tactical operation center TOC. Render after patrol report duly signed by detailed personnel. Commander shall locate and submit significant details to the station patrol supervisor who are truly submit in the same provisional district patrol supervisor and conduct briefing after the patrol to access and conduct the necessary corrective measure and defect noted. It explained that the supervisor must carefully plan patrols, assign brief team members, inspect equipment, ensure proper conduct and communication, follow operational guidelines, monitor patrol activities, and conduct briefing afterward to review performance and address any issues. Duties of patrol officer: attend the roll call formation before this tour of duty for briefing and likewise attend after tour of duty formation for debriefing. Patrol assign beats, observe and check suspicious people, structures, building, compound and vehicle, observe and monitor public gathering, prevent disorders and unlawful assembles, inspect and or conduct surveillance and various business establishment and other installation and remove hazard and public safety, check suspicious vehicle, private public delivery vehicles along the main road highway in the course of their patrol, report occurrence and conditions which relate to crime, public peace, order and safety, prevent crime and arrest slightly law environment, assuring and public that peace and preserve, conduct regular visitation, irrigation consultation with the residents and other stakeholders, assist personnel and responsible agencies unit facilitate and flow traffic disruption road with this area and responsibility, enforce city municipal ordinance or liquor establishment and high clubs, cabarets and house of ill repute, respond to call, entertain complaints, initiate an investigation and protection of the scene and minimize the after effect of the incident, fire and catastrophe. Patrol officer shall wear the prescribed patrol uniform and patrol officer must have the equipment necessary in the performance of their duty. Explanation is a patrol officer's job is to maintain peace and safety by monitoring assigned areas, preventing and responding to crime, inspect suspicious activities or vehicles, enforcing law and ordinance, assisting community, maintaining traffic, and reporting incidents. They must attend briefings, wear a proper uniform, and carry necessary equipment during guidelines and procedures when responding to call police assistance. Gather and note down in the patrol officer logbook all available data on the nature of the call, date, time, and the name of the caller. It may be regular, urgent, or emergency in nature. The manner of approach will be dependent on the nature of the call, with haste, secrecy, or without flashing lights and sirens. Consider the pertinent factors like the time, traffic conditions, the possibility of greater damage, and the nighthood characteristics. Stop the patrol car some distance from the scene. Approach the scene on foot in complete silence and exercising extreme cautions. Immediate attend to the injured unless the other member of the patrol are immediate danger. Focus all effort to arrest criminals. Lower priority shall be given to ending the injured and possible witness at the scene. Determine the crime committed. Identify and question briefly the victim complainant. If the suspect or criminal have fled in the scene before the arrival of the patrol team, immediately relay the composition, arrangement, appearance, and mode and direction of the escape of the suspect to the operation center of the conduct of dragnet operation. When responding to street fight, The patrol member should call for backup before intervening if there are no injuries and insufficient corroborative statement obtained to identify who started the fight, spare the crowd, and make complete notes. Never treat calls or complaints of loud noise caused by barking dogs, drunk appliances, and parties as negligible or uh, nuisance. Nonsense. When responding to calls for police assistance due to the plant of found explosive, never attempt to handle, move, or lift the object. Instead, conduct operation center and request for explosive ordnance disposal team. When responding to call from owner of beer houses, bars, or inns, or any other similar establishment during nighttime, request the owner to put the light on the first before entering the establishment. Do not attempt to arbitrate unresolved conflicts, difference between neighbor, landlord, tenants, husband, and wife. It explained that it instruct officer to record call details, respond appropriately based on urgency, approach the scene cautiously, help the injured, identify suspect and witness. And report is important in the information. It also advises against handling explosive, intervening in fight without backup, or engaging in personal disputes, emphasizing safety, caution, and proper procedure. Dapat safety mag-respond sa mga every crime nga imuhang sa gubangon. Mura to.
10.1 Grounds for Spot Body Frisk Pat-Down Search. A body frisk or pat-down search is a protective search conducted by law enforcement officers when they have reasonable suspicion that a person may be carrying a weapon, illegal drugs, or any item that could endanger others. This type of search does not require a warrant but must be based on specific and observable behaviors, not just a hunch. Examples of valid grounds include the person behaving in a nervous or invasive manner, visible bulges under clothing that could indicate a weapon, reliable intelligence that the person may be involved in criminal activity, being present in a crime-prone area or during a suspicious situation. The purpose of establishing clear grounds is to balance public safety and individual rights. Officers must ensure their actions are justified to avoid accusation or of harassment or illegal searches. This standard protects citizens from arbitrary or abusive police practices while allowing officers to act quickly when necessary. 10.2 Procedures and Guidelines in Conducting Body Frisk Pat-Down Search. When conducting a frisk, officers must follow strict procedures to ensure that the search is lawful, respectful, and professional. Proper guidelines include informing the person about the reason for the frisk before starting. The search should be done by an officer of the same gender to maintain respect and decency. Only the outer clothing is pat down to check for possible weapons or contraband. If an object feels like a weapon, the officer may carefully retrieve it. All items found must be recorded, tagged, and reported according to legal process. The officer should avoid unnecessary contact and maintain professionalism throughout the search. These procedures ensure that the frisk respect human rights and due process. Following them builds trust between law enforcement and the community, proving that searches are done not to harass but to protect and serve.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this is my report about 10.3 reporting after the spot check, accosting, or pat down search. If after conducting a spot or accosting or pat down search, the police officer has no basis to making an arrest, he should record the facts or such spot check, accosting, or pat down. Search and forward a report to the appropriate authority. If the spot checking, accosting, or pat down search give a justification for a valid warrantless arrest, then an arrest shall be made. So, for example, kung magdakop, kinahanglan gyud na TOP ang police officer, kay kung naiuban man nga kung magdakop, kung nay madakpan, ang unang pangitawon gid sa mga drivers is kanang TOP. Then kay aron natay strong nga nagpamatuod nga gadakop gid sila. So rules for checkpoints. 11.1 Authority to establish checkpoints. A checkpoints is a place where the police check vehicular, pedestrian traffic to enforce circulation, control measures, and other laws, orders, and regulations. The establishment of the checkpoints must always be authorized by the head of officer of a territorial PNP unit and manned by uniformed PNP personnel. Other units directly involved of an operation may establish mobile checkpoints in coordination with the unit commanders in the area. So, like I'm said, ganiha, nga dapat gid na gid TOP nga pinirmahan sa head officer of the PNP or Philippine National Police. And let's go back, let's go to 11.2 composition. In the conduct of the checkpoints team shall be composed of but not limited to the following. A. So kung magdakop, dili ra gid ikaw isara, dili ra kamong duha. So dapat nagid mo gihapoy squad. So the first one is team leader. Team leader shall lead and take responsibility in the conduct of checkpoints, preferably an officer with the rank of at least police inspector. So ang team leader, kung ang iyang grupo makadakop unya makiglalis ng mga drivers, so dapat siya may maningamot na anay. So spokesperson, team leader of a member who in the charge of communicating with the motorist subject for the checkpoints. So dapat na po ni nganing spokesperson kanang dali mo pasabot sa mga tawo nga mamang mikandak sila og dakop ingunane. So let's so another one, spotter. PNP or Philippine National Police personnel who will point, profile suspected vehicle subject for checkpoints. And letter D, investigation, sub-term in charge of investigation and documentation of possible incidents in the checkpoints, including the insurance of traffic citation, ticket, or TCT for traffic violence report or TVR. And letter E, search arrest sub-team designated to conduct search, seizures, and arrest if necessary. And security sub-team tasked to provide security in the checkpoint areas. And G, blocking pursuing sub-team. Team acts to block, pursue, feeling suspect vehicle. So kani silang grupo lahi-lahi ni sila og lahi-lahi ni sila og kaning trabaho nga lahi sa pag para sa mga drivers, lahi pag lantaw sa mga papeles, naaba siya license and registered of their vehicle or rehistro. And let's go on to the 11.3 guidelines. Letter A. Mobile checkpoints are authorized only with established in conjunction with ongoing police operation. Only official marked vehicles with blinkers turned on, if available, shall be used in establishing mobile checkpoints. And letter B. Checkpoints are established to enforce circulation control measures, laws, orders, and regulation, and when there is need to arrest a criminal or fugitive from justice. So kani ang pagdagang pamaagi sa checkpoints, for example, checkpoints sa mga drugs na silbi kanang sa curfew na kinahanglan ng mga kabataan or tanan-tanang mga tawo nga wala na and kanang mukandak og patrolling ang mga police officer kay basin og naa ditoy na naggamit na og bato, sagbot, and unsa pa diha. So letter C, composition of the personnel manning the checkpoint shall be left to the sound discretion of the team leader with a consideration of a female PNP in the team, especially when there is anticipated female suspect. The minimum police checkpoints team should be less but composed of an 8-man complement with 3 verifiers, 1 spotter, 1 team leader, 1 profiler, 1 rear security, and 1 advanced security. So muna kung gayon ganiha, dili ra isa, duha, or tulo ang magdakop, kundi isa ka squad. Not in squad kay dili man sila pulo, but near in the squad. 8-man. Verifiers, spotters, team leader, rear security, and advanced security. And letter E, the team manning checkpoints must have immediate contact with the LGU's Public Authority Office or PAO for any member of the Philippine Bar and of the media for drugs cases. And letter F, the team should encourage the participation of, but not limited to, the local government units or LGUs, civil society groups, non-governmental organizations or NGOs, business organizations, other civic groups, media, and other stakeholders during the conduct of the police checkpoints operations. So the participation of the civilians and the presence of the media in the conduct of the checkpoints must be confirmed only on the observed to give police additional eyes and promote transparency of activities in the areas. All civic groups of organization, to include the media, who are inclined to participate in the police checkpoints but be duly registered and accredited by the PNP for such purpose. And letter I, Philippine National Police personnel manning the checkpoints must have presentable appearance wearing the prescribed PNP uniform. So muni usa, dili gud pwede nga magka-civilian ka while gadakop kay wapay siguro og mabalihan ta sa mga drivers kay imong gidakop ug mamanggay mo nana. And letter J, in the Metro Manila and other major cities, police officer manning to the checkpoint should not wear field service uniform or if issue or black fatigues in lieu that the PNP general office attire unless the conduct of checkpoints in a result of hot pursuit operation of a high risk checkpoints. Letter H, all civic groups of the organization, to include the media, who are inclined to participate in the police checkpoints must be duly registered and accredited by the PNP for such purpose. And I, Philippine National Police personnel manning to the checkpoints and have presentable. And as much as possible, the area where the checkpoints shall be established must be properly lighted with noticeable signage bearing a name of the PNP units and participating organization visible displayed in the checkpoint site to prevent any apprehension from the public of the existence of the same. So dapat kung mag-checkpoint ang Philippine National Police na sila'y badge or signage na checkpoint dili para sa LTO nga gatago ra. So letter M, the spokesperson must greet the people subject for the inspection, extend an apology for the inconvenience, appeal for understanding, and the state of reason for the operation. So dapat ang spokesperson bisan og kinsa pa na dapat mo greet ma'am and sir para sa pag-inspect kung naabay license or rehistro sa motor. So expect in the actual commission and crime during checkpoints of a hot pursuit operation, the conduct of inspection of vehicle during the routine checkpoint is a limited of a visual search and therefore must be done with a due respect to the innocent passers by commuters, bystanders, and conducted in a manner that is of at least inconvenience to the public. Research, seizures, and arrest made during checkpoint shall be within the ambit of the law. And Q, checkpoints personnel must no limit their task of allowance for enforcement and crime deterrence. S, the PNP or Philippine National Police operating units must provide their own logistic and financial requirements to avoid soliciting support for the civilians for their personal or operational needs. Police personnel is assigned in a checkpoint shall not extort of harass drivers, passengers, and truckers. U, voluntary offers of cash or any kind from the trader's motorist passing the checkpoint should be refused because the offer might be misconstructed or abridged. So letter V, the police and civilians components must separately submitted theirs after checkpoints operation report to their respective units for organization for proper evaluation of the efficacy of the operations. So mo to kung gingon ganiya in the police operation or checkpoint dapat gyud preparado na ay checkpoint badge, proper uniform, and a spokesperson dapat prepare for ready to spoke the person or the drivers to communicate, and that's all.
So good day, I am Angelica May M. Dugha, your reporter. So our topic today will be procedure in the conduct of regular police checkpoints. So unit commanders should inform higher headquarters, tactical operations center, and coordinate with adjacent units, such as MPS, CPS, NCUs, public safety company forces, and other friendly forces, personally or through an official representative. Before commencing with the checkpoint to avoid misencountered and any untoward incident. B. The TL shall brief the PNP personnel as well as the civilian components present, including the media regarding the proper conduct of the checkpoint and their assigned tasks before their deployment. C. The TL should initially account for the PNP personnel and check if they are in the prescribed uniform. PNP personnel conducting the checkpoint shall display their nameplates at all the time. If wearing a jacket, the flap of the jacket bearing their names should also be displayed. Likewise, the equipment will include but not be limited to the following. 1 is marked patrol vehicles, 2 firearms with a basic load of ammunition, handheld and vehicle-based radios, flashlights, megaphone, video camera, and signage, warning signs, warning signs like slow down, checkpoint ahead, checkpoint 20 meters ahead, etc., and information signs, name of the unit, and CL. Okay. The spotter of the term will be prepositioned in a place where he can best point profile suspected vehicles before their approach to the checkpoint. Search, arresting subteam shall flag down suspected vehicles and conduct search. Seizures and arrests if necessary. F. In the event of seized drugs, the team having initial custody and control of the drug shall immediately conduct a physical inventory and photograph the same in the presence of the accused or the persons from whom such items were confiscated and or seized, or his/her representative or counsel, a representative from the media and DOJ, any elected public official who shall be required to sign the copy of the inventory and be given the copy thereof. So arrested persons and seized items shall be turned over to the investigation subteam for documentation and proper disposition. If the checkpoint is ignored and the occupants of the vehicle open fire on the personnel manning the checkpoint, reasonable force to overcome the suspect aggression may be employed. So, inform higher headquarters before terminating the conduct of checkpoint. The TL shall conduct debriefing the personnel after the termination of the checkpoint, and the unit commander shall submit after activity report to the higher headquarters. So 11.5 procedure in the conduct of on-the-spot hasty checkpoints. So A. PNP personnel conducting mobile patrols on boards patrol vehicles will initially man to the checkpoint, to be complemented by additional personnel upon arrival of reinforcement, collapsible signage with marking stop police checkpoint, if available, indicating also the name of the concerned police office unit conducting the operation will be used for the purpose. So in the case of PNP personnel conducting internal security operation, ICO, or foot patrol, where a vehicle and collapsible signage is not readily available, the checkpoint shall be manned initially by said personnel. The team shall immediately inform higher headquarters of the exact location of the hasty checkpoint to include personnel involved and available equipment. In a hasty checkpoint, where there is a possibility of high-risk stop and high-risk arrest, there is an urgency for troop deployment and public safety might be at risk. The participation of the civilian component and the presence of the media in the checkpoint operation shall not be allowed. The unit commander or the personnel manning the hasty checkpoint shall immediately send additional personnel, equipment, and signage to the area to convert the hasty checkpoint and into a regular checkpoint, and as soon as the hasty checkpoint is converted into a regular checkpoint, TL shall follow their procedures under 11.4c of this rule. So 11.6 general procedure to be followed when checkpoints are ignored. When checkpoints are ignored, the following shall be observed. So when the checkpoint is ignored, we need to observe this. If a checkpoint's roadblocks are ignored and the motorist suspects bump the roadblock in attempt to elude arrest or avoid inspections, the TL shall immediately contact adjacent units to inform them of the situation so that these units can conduct dragnet operation or police defensive roadblock, while the members of the blocking pursuing team shall block or pursue the errant fleeing motorist. So, warning shots shall not be allowed due to the confusion it may create for the driver and passenger of the vehicle. Megaphones or police sirens shall be used instead during the pursuit. The plate number of the vehicle shall be noted and given to the other units and adjacent areas to prevent the possibility that the vehicle may elude the pursuit operations. And if the occupants of the vehicle open fire on the personnel manning the checkpoint, reasonable force to overcome the suspect aggression may be employed. So this topic is, it says that police checkpoints are organized and systematic operations aimed at maintaining law and order. They require coordination, proper equipment, clear communication, and adherence to safety and legal standards to ensure both public safety and respect for human rights. So that's all, and thank you.
So good day everyone. I am Michael John Buncares from Group 2, and I'm going to discuss my assigned topic, and this is the continuation of Michael Ilorig's topic also. So number 2, during roadblock. Letter A, establish forward observers, spotters, and rear checkpoint. They put observers or spotters and rear view for in every checkpoint. B, deploys security forces in a strategic and defensive position. So they deploy security forces, and those security forces are already in a defensive position, prepared for what happened. So C, establish a strong roadblock on selected strategic areas. D, deploy road spikes or tire deflation system if available. So they will put road spikes for tire deflation if it is available. Letter E, ensure that the whole intervention procedure is documented by the videographer. So there's also videographer for to gather and view some videos or evidences of what happened along. So F, as much as possible, the area where the roadblock shall be established must be properly enlightened with noticeable signage bearing the name of the PNP unit visibly displayed at a safe distance from a populated area to prevent collateral damage in a firefight ensues. So as much as possible, where the roadblock shall be established, the security forces must put some noticeable signage with the name of the PNP bearing it, and it is displayed also in a safe distance away from populated areas, so that they can prevent some collateral damage. G, police car lights must be turned on at all times during the operation. So the police car lights need to be turned on at all times when there's an operation or during an operation. H, identify yourself, name and unit verbally and make known to the suspect that you are after them through the use of a siren or megaphone. So you need to identify yourself when you are going to the suspect, and you need to magpahibalo ka nga you are after them using a megaphone or with the siren turning on. I, if the vehicle's window are heavily tinted and all the occupants cannot be seen, the instruct the driver to open all the windows to have a clear view of the interior of the vehicle. So if the vehicle highly tinted and you cannot see the what's inside, you need to talk to the driver and instruct them to open the window with their hands up to get a clear view of the interior of the vehicle so that you can see what's inside. And letter J, instruct the driver to turn off the ignition and order all the occupants to disembark, followed by their hands to be placed on the top of the vehicle. So you need to instruct the driver to turn off the vehicle if this vehicle is already stopped, and you need to instruct the occupants of the vehicle to put their hands up and open the door to let them go outside with their hands placed in the top of the vehicle. Okay, the other members of the team must be on guard for any eventuality while the vehicle is being approached. So other members of the security team must be prepared and on guard for any eventuality or any happenings while the vehicle is being approached or searched. So IAL, intervention procedures upon stop of subject vehicle, exert utmost effort to persuade suspects or halt stop their movement. So if the suspect movements is unusual, you need to guard them eventually so they cannot attack you, or maybe they're going to attack you, so you need to pugnan nimo sila ug sa ilang lihok. So I start with the procedural conduct of regular warrantless arrest where the arrest is inevitable. So if you need to start with the procedural conduct even if no warrant, that come the warrantless arrest where the arrest is inevitable. So letter I, letter 2, ensure proper documentation of the process. So that's what we talked about earlier. Ensure proper documentation and process, including the video. And one of the team must document all the happenings and following the exact process. 3, respect the rights of all persons involved. So you need to respect all the persons involved. No harassment if they will not fight back. Procedures when suspects open fire or engage the troops. Number 1, if the occupants of the vehicle open fire on the personnel manning the roadblock, reasonable force to overcome the suspect's aggression may be employed. So if the occupants of the vehicle started to fire on the troops, so if the occupants engage or fire at the troops will not bother to fight back and fire them for reasonable force for them to overcome the suspects. And 2, use only necessary force to neutralize suspects. So if the suspects already surrender, you don't need to kill them or brutally harass them if they are already in surrendered position. Prevent panic firing. So you don't need to panic in firing to you need to prevent panic firing so that no one else would be injured or died even if they are not engaging on the troops. Prevent collateral damage. So you don't need to destroy some collateral and account for the casualties. So you need to check for your casualties if they're injured or not. 3. After the roadblock. When suspect surrendered is arrested. Arrested persons must be apprised of the rights about the Miranda rights doctrine. So if the arrested persons will be apprised the rights, they will. You're already arrested. You need to give them the Miranda rights doctrine. And after roadblock operations, report must be submitted to the respective units or organizations for proper evaluation of the efficacy of the operation. So after the roadblock operations, the documented happenings, or it must be called report, must be submitted to every respective units organizations for it to have proper evaluation of the efficacy of the operation. B. When suspects engage with troops. So if suspect engage with troops, account for the casualties and give them immediate medical assistance to the wounded. So if the casualties, you need to check them if they are injured, and if they are, you need to give them some medical assistance for them not to die. To protect and preserve the crime scene engagement area. So you need to put some, what you call that, cordons, secure the area. Don't let any civilians enter the area for just to preserve the crime scene. Ensure proper documentation to the process. Every happening need to be documented. So let's see, fleeing vehicles. If the motor vehicle did not stop and evaded the roadblock despite the warning given, inform her headquarters or adjacent units so that another roadblock can be set up. So if the suspects pass through the first roadblock despite the warning given, the headquarters and other members of the station need to be warned so that they can advance to put some other checkpoints where the suspects are heading. 2. Fleeing vehicles shall not be fired upon except by a sniper, but only to disable the vehicle. Inform headquarters of the make or type, plate number, and color of the vehicle to be accosted, including the number of occupants and, if possible, their identity. So, fleeing vehicles, you don't need to fire with a sniper, but you can only fire with the vehicle, not the suspects, just to disable the vehicle. So you need to inform the headquarters of what you're wearing, what the plate numbers of the vehicle, how many are they, and if possible their identity, with what color of t-shirt they use, what they look like. State the reason for flagging down the suspected motor vehicle. So you need to state what reason, if you're going, what your intention to flag down the vehicle. Give the mobile car's location if directed before making actual intervention. So you need to give the mobile car's location and its direction before making actual intervention. And last is establish hot pursuit operation. And that's all, everyone. Thank you.
Good day, sir. My name is Janerb Michael Ellerig, and here is my report topic. Procedures in establishing roadblock. Before the roadblock, organize appropriate, sufficient police tactical security enforces utilizing maximum firepower and armor assets, if any, with the following team's composition. 1. Team leader shall lead to take responsibility for conduct of roadblock, preferably an officer with the rank of at least police inspector. Team leader is the person in charge of the team roadblock. They are responsible for leading the team, making decisions, and ensuring everything is done properly and safely. Usually, this person should be a police inspector or higher. 2. For forward observer or spotter. PNP personnel who will point or profile suspected vehicle, subject, or roadblock. The forward observer or spotter is a police officer whose job is to watch out for the identify the target vehicle that needs to be stopped at the roadblock. 3. Spokesperson. Tail or member who is solely in charge of communicating with the armed suspect on board motor vehicle to roadblock. The spokesperson is official voice to the law enforcement team, specifically chosen to talk to the armed individuals to resolve a dangerous situation safely. Sniper. To render the vehicle unoperational, to avoid escape, and provide firepower support to neutralize armed and hostile suspect during firefight. The sniper is the marksman who stops the escape vehicle and provides accurate, decisive shots if the situation turns violent. 5. Investigation subteam. In charge of investigation and document of the roadblock. The investigation subteam are the fact finders and record keepers of the roadblock, ensuring all details are documented for legal and procedural purposes. 6. Search or arresting subteam, designated to conduct search, seizure, and arrest. This team is in charge of finding evidence and taking suspect into custody during the roadblock. Security subteam, tasked to provide security in the roadblock area and ensure exclusive of other vehicles and civilians not object to the roadblocks. The security subteam is in charge of keeping the roadblock area safe and clear of any unwanted people or vehicle. Blocking or pursuing subteam, tasked to block, pursue fleeing suspect or vehicle. This team is specifically assigned to stop and catch any suspect or vehicles trying to get away. Medical subteam, tasked to provide immediate medical assistance if necessary. The medical subteam is the on-site emergency medical responders, ready to help anyone who gets hurt during the roadblock. Additional tactical personnel or team may be employed depending on the size of the hostiles. If there are more bad guys, more police will be brought into to handle the situation. Videographer tasked to take videos of the entire roadblock operation. The videographer is the person who films everything at the roadblocks to create an official visual record. B. The team leader shall brief the elements or members of the police roadblock and perform the following. 1. Inform the next higher headquarters to make or type and plate number of the motor vehicle to be accosted, including the number and if possible the identity of the occupants. 2. State the reasons for the planned intervention of the suspect motor vehicle. Give the exact location of the roadblock to include personnel involved, available equipment, the marked vehicle. 4. Coordinate with the chief of police and friendly forces who have territorial jurisdiction over the area. 5. Immediately contact adjacent units to inform them of the situation so that this unit can conduct dragnet operation, while the member of the blocking pursuing team shall block or pursue the fleeing suspect or vehicle. C. Participating personnel in the roadblock must be in their prescribed uniform. D. In the roadblock, since troop deployment is urgent, the public safety is at risk, the participant of civilian component and presence of media in the roadblock shall not be allowed.
Good evening, sir. I am Elmer Cree Castillion, and this is my report. My report is all about roles on police operations. Role number 1, functions of a police officer. 1. To serve and protect. The responsibility of every police officer is to serve the public and protect life and property. No police operation shall be conducted in order to serve or protect the illegal activity of a particular person, group, or criminal syndicate. 1.2. To observe human rights and dignity of person, all PNP personnel shall respect the human rights and dignity of the suspects during police operations. A police uniform, attire, and accessories. 2.1. Agency prescribed uniform. A police officer shall always wear the agency prescribed uniform which is appropriate for the kind of police operation to be undertaken. 2.2. Appearing before the public. When wearing the police uniform, a police officer shall, good at all times, appear presentable, smart, and well-groomed. While on actual patrol duties, he shall refrain from eating along the sidewalks, smoking, and reading newspapers. 2.3. Carrying of police notebook, pen, and Miranda warning card. Every police officer on patrol, whether on board a vehicle or a foot patrol, must always carry with him a police notebook, a pen, and the Miranda warning card. 2.4. Carrying of non-lethal weapon in the police rig. Every police officer shall carry in his prescribed rig a non-lethal weapon, like pepper spray, baton, or stun gun, which shall be primarily used in a non-armed confrontation with an uncooperative and unruly offender during the arrest. Rule number 3. Categories of police operations. Police operations are categorized as follows. 3.1. Public safety operation includes search, rescue, and retrieval operations, fire drills, earthquake drills, and similar operations that promote public safety. Law enforcement operations include service of warrant of arrest, implementation of search warrant, enforcement of visitorial powers of the Chief, Philippine National Police and unit commanders, anti-illegal drugs operations, anti-illegal gambling operations, anti-illegal logging operations, and anti-illegal fishing operations, and anti-kidnapping operations, anti-kidnapping operations, anti-cybercrime operations, and similar operations that are conducted to enforce laws, statutes, executive orders, and ordinance. 3.3 Internal security operation includes counter-insurgency operations, counter-terrorist operations, and similar operations that are conducted to ensure internal security. 3.4 Special police operations includes checkpoint operations, roadblock operations, civil disturbance management operation, police assistance in the enforcement of demolition, evictions, injunctions, and similar orders, police assistance in the implementation of final court order and from quasi-judicial bodies, hostage situations, visit board search and seizure on board marine vessels, and similar police operations that are conducted by police units with specialized training on the peculiarity of the mission of purpose. 3.5 Intelligence operation includes surveillance operations, counterintelligence, intelligence research, intelligence assessment, and similar police intelligence operations conducted to gather information related to security, public safety, and order. 3.6 Investigation operations includes investigation of crime of incident, administrative investigation, and similar investigate work necessary to determine facts and circumstances for filing cases criminally or administratively. 3.7 Scene of the crime operation (SOCO) includes the processing of crime scene, technical and forensic examinations of piece of evidence, and similar scientific investigative assistance. Rule number 4 Pre-operational clearance. Pre-operational clearance. No police operation shall be conducted without the approval of the Chief Commander, Head of the concerned police unit office. A pre-operational clearance shall be filled by the team leader of the operating team prior to the conduct of the operation and shall be approved by the concerned police unit commander. This clearance shall be submitted to the Operations Sections Division of the concerned police unit of the record purpose. Rule number 5 Inter-unit coordination, personal coordination. Inter-unit coordination, personal coordination, or by official representative, team leaders of local police units operating outside their territorial jurisdiction, and national support units, or NSUS, shall coordinate personally or through an official representative with the police regional, police, provincial, or city police office within whose jurisdiction the operation is to be conducted. Coordination by filling coordination form. Prior to the launching of the operation, except in the cases where formal in writing, inter-unit coordination cannot be made due to the nature and urgency with the situation, such as, but not limited to, perhaps jurisdictional pursuit operations. Coordination shall be made formally using the prescribed coordination form, which shall be filed at the concerned operation center of the police regional provisional of the city office. That's all, and thank you.
Okay, good evening everyone, especially to you sir and classmates. This is my continuation of my report of Group 3, Representer number 2, about law enforcement operation and planning with crime mapping. Procedure in dealing with a hostile drive. A. Stopping the vehicle. So, observe and assess mo ni siya. Watch the driver behavior, so imo jung tanawon. If they are act aggressively or refuse to stop, report in near headquarter. Second, call for backup. So don't handle the situation alone. So maguna-imay nimo, don't handle situation alone. Wait for the other police or unit assist. Choose a safety place to stop. So please pick a wide, well-lit area with the few people around. Then signal the driver to stop. So use signal or siren and lights to bell the driver to pull over to stop. And keep distance and take over. So park your patrol car safely behind the suspect vehicle. So dapat pud behind sa suspect vehicle or on lisad halata. Okay? Give clear commands. So give clear commands. Tell the driver to turn off the engine, show their hands, and stay inside unless to get out of your command. Then be caution when approaching. So always watch the driver hands kung unsa yung mga movements, so you will see what your in her hands, so be aware like that. Okay, then if the driver is violent or armed, so diha na kamo, stay behind, cover, and wait for backup, a special team. So para siya di makatakas or walay mahitabo nga aksidente, so call for backup, wait. Okay, then after stopping the vehicle, arrest or question the driver according to law and ensure safety of everyone. Then document everything. So record na nimo diri, record time, place, exact time, what happened on the situation, and report. Okay, then second, B, fleeing vehicle. So in this fleeing vehicle, the procedure in fleeing vehicle, so number 1, stay calm and alert. So don't panic, because if you panic, the panic is the one of your enemy. So B, don't panic, stay calm or act recklessly. Then report to dispatch. So give the vehicle description, direction, and speed. Then call for backup, same sa stopping vehicle. Ask nearby units for help. Then follow safety, keep a safe distance, do not endanger others. So keep distance, so do not dili ka maka-endanger sa uban, basin ay maangin. Then use siren or light. So same result siya, make your presence known to warn others, follow pursuit policy, then stop the chase if it becomes too dangerous. So stop sad ka kung become dangerous na, then need backup yun. Then sa 11.1, high risk stop and high risk arrest. So dire nga procedure dapat planado gyud, planado sa inyong team para dili makabululaso. So number 1, plan before acting. Diha na coordinate with other officers and choose a safe location. Dapat yun planado kung unsang matabo, planuhan daan na kay seat A, seat B, ganun. Then call for backup. So in kaso magkaunsa, so you need backup, never handle alone. Then use cover and distance. Okay, stay behind your partner for your safety and the others. Then use light and surveillance. Okay, same rasad sa niagi, clearly identify yourself as a police. Okay. Then give clear commands. So order the suspect to turn on engine. So imo yung orderan nga i-turn on ang engine, show your hands, and step out slowly. So then careful sad gaani, tan-aw ka sa iyong mga galaw ana. Then control one person at time. So keep others in the vehicle until told otherwise. Then handcuff and search safely. So pag haman ani, dakpan na nimo, one suspect comply. So move carefully, then secure and search. Then dapat careful sad gani pag handcuff para di sad ika mabalahan, ikayay ma-hostage niya. Then check the vehicle. So make sure no other suspect or weapons nga nasa sul sa vehicle. So muna importante, search dapat yun imong yung i-clarify gud pag ayo para safety gud inyong pagka kaninyo yung planado sakto kayo, din walay nahibilin pang mga laing suspect. Dayon, and lastly, And 9, so record and report. So document all action, time, same sa niaging akong discuss, time to time, place, dapat inyo yung i-document yun and reports to the crime map and crime mapping. Then ensure safety, so provide medical help anyone is injured. Kung in kaso na injured, so provide yung medical. Okay. Then sa 11.10 police roadblock, so dire ang simply makasabot sad mo kung unsang roadblock, sila murag harang checkpoint yun. Then plan dire ang number 1 procedure, plan the roadblock. Siyempre planuhan yun. Choose a safe area or visible place. Then get approval, make sure that it's allowed by the police commander. So dapat magulat mo sa commander sa proceed. Then set up warning signs, so use cones, light and signal. So same sad sa niya. Then position police vehicle, so park them safely to block and slow traffic. Then assign officer, each other has a role. So dire each other has a role to control, then ay lookout, observation, then ay saluyo. Dapat yun na-roll kada isa aron dali pagsikop ang yung suspect. Then stay alert and communicate, so dapat yun stay alert yun, then communicate. Dapat na may mga sinyas aron dili mahalata sa suspect. Then handle vehicle safely, so approach slowly and follow proper stop procedure. Then remove the roadblock if mahuman na, clear it once an operation is done. Okay. Then sa 11.6 general procedure when checkpoints are ignored. Okay, dire na. Do not fire or chase immediately, so avoid action that could cause accidents or injuries. So dapat safe, kalma ka, caring you ka. Then report right away, so inform nearby patrols or headquarters through radio. Then observe and record. Then dire na same sad sa i-discuss na ako kani magong about sa akong topic, same ra sila og mga rule. Din ang uban ra naray uban lahi-lahi yun, then uban same, halos magka-same. So notice the vehicle type, color, plate number. So dapat yun i-notice mo color, ang usag yun plate number and direction asa paingon. Then coordinate, so other units ahead may set up roadblock and intercept safely. Then avoid endangering the public, so safety of people is often come first. So dapat safety gyud imo yung tanaw palibot kung safety ba. Then file a report, so same, record what happened, time to time action. Then sa 11 procedure in flagging down or accosting vehicle while in mobile car, so same na sa gihapon be alert and ready. Then the police team must be always observant while patrol. Then use proper signal or hands, siren, lights, simsa. Then choose a safe spot, so choose kag safe spot para pag spot mo sa suspect klaro gyud, din dili sad ka apike, then plaster ka. Then choose, then approach carefully. The officer should be approached while vehicle constantly, then watching the driver and passengers movements. Dapat ay kuan gyud abtik yung mata. Then introduce and explain. Then dito ka politely introduce yourself, explain and reason stopping the vehicle. So kalma lang ka. Then check document, ask for license, vehicle properly. So as a police, ask yun ka. Then dili yun ka ura mo check yun sa sulod nga wala kay kuan kaning search warrant kay ikamay mapiit ana. Dayon take necessary action if there violation or suspectly act. Kung naay action nga di maayo nga labag sa batas, dito na ka take proper action according to law. So dapat lawfully in pag action pod. Then maintain courtesy, and the last, maintain courtesy and safety. So always remain respectful, calm and alert and during process. Then that's all my report. Thank you sir, and I am Aljon Intangkay, BS Cream 3D. That's all, thank you.